Let me tell you about a man named Barry. Barry started a business, worked extremely hard, and in 3 years, he made over $200,000 in revenue. $200,000. He posted about it, he celebrated it, his family was proud, his friends were impressed. And then 5 years after he started, Barry was sitting at a 9-to-5 desk, working for someone else, wondering what on earth went wrong. He didn't lose because the market crashed. He didn't lose because his product was bad. He lost because nobody ever taught him the 6 rules of financial intelligence. And today, I'm going to make sure that never happens to you. Now let me introduce you to Barry's best friend, Tom. These two grew up in the same area, went to the same school, had the same amount of work and talent. In January of the same year, they both decided to start businesses. Same industry, same starting capital, $5,000 each. In year 1, both of them were doing well, making money, growing. If you'd looked at them from the outside, you would have said they were on exactly the same path. But behind the scenes, Tom was making 6 financial decisions that Barry wasn't. And those 6 decisions would change everything. Rule number 1, and this is the one that gets more entrepreneurs than any other. Revenue is not profit. They are not the same thing. Not even close. Barry's business made $10,000 in his 3rd month, and he celebrated it, posted about it, bought a new outfit, went out for dinner. What he didn't do was subtract his costs first. His rent was $2,000, supplies $3,000, staff $2,500, transport $800. That $10,000 in revenue became $1,700 in actual profit. He spent money like he made $10,000. He only kept $1,700. Tom did the exact same revenue that month, but Tom did his calculation first, every single time, before he spent a single dollar. He looked at the profit, not the revenue, and made every spending decision based on that number. Revenue is vanity. Profit is sanity. Rule number 2, separate your money. This sounds so obvious that most entrepreneurs nod along and then completely ignore it. Barry had one account. One. Everything went in business income, personal savings, client payments, and everything came out: business rent, his sister's school fees, supplies, his own food. He had absolutely no idea how his business was actually performing at any given moment because it was all mixed up together. Tom opened 2 accounts on day 1. A business account, nothing personal ever touched it, and a personal account where he paid himself a monthly salary from the business. When you mix your money, you lose your financial clarity. You can't see if your business is healthy. You can't track your expenses. And worst of all, without even realizing it, you'll drain your business dry just living your normal life. Rule number 3, and this one is so important, I want you to write it down. Cash flow is king. Now, what is cash flow? Simply put, it's the actual money that is physically available in your business account at any given moment. Not money people owe you. Not money that's coming next month. Money that is there right now to pay your bills. Barry had done $40,000 worth of work, but most of his clients hadn't paid him yet. His invoices were outstanding. On paper, his business looked profitable. In reality, when a supplier showed up needing $8,000 immediately, Barry had $600 in his account. He couldn't pay. The supplier cut him off. He couldn't fulfill customer orders. He started losing clients. An incredibly profitable business brought to its knees, not by failure, but by poor cash flow management. Tom had the same client payment challenges, but he kept a minimum cash reserve at all times and followed up on invoices aggressively. He always knew exactly how much real cash he had to work with. Rule number 4, pay yourself a salary. Not take money when you need it, not borrow from the business account when things are tight. A fixed, decided, consistent salary paid on the same date every month. Barry never did this. Whenever he needed money personally, he just took it. A little here, a little there. Barry, he called it borrowing from the business, but he never paid it back. Over the course of a year, He had pulled out over $15,000 in random withdrawals that were never accounted for. He had no idea. Tom sat down in month one and decided, my salary is $1,500 a month, full stop. That's what he paid himself, nothing more. If the business couldn't afford it 1 month, he took less. But it was always intentional, always recorded. When you pay yourself randomly, you make your business financially unstable without ever realizing it. Rule number 5, build a financial runway. A runway, in aviation terms, is how much space a plane needs to take off safely. In business, your runway is how many months you can keep operating if your revenue suddenly dropped to 0. Barry had no runway. Every month, he spent everything the business earned or more. When his biggest client unexpectedly canceled their contract in year 4, Barry had 6 weeks of cash left. 6 weeks to find new clients, rebuild revenue, and keep paying staff, rent, and suppliers all at the same time. He couldn't do it. The business collapsed. Tom had built a reserve account from the very first month he turned profitable. He saved the equivalent of 4 months of operating expenses. When the same client canceled on him because it happened to both of them, Tom calmly operated on his reserves, found new clients, and recovered in 9 weeks. The U.S. Small Business Administration says that 50% of businesses fail by year 5. The number one reason? Running out of cash. Not running out of ideas, cash. Rule number 6, and this is the one that separates people who build wealth from people who just stay busy. Know your numbers. Not roughly, not vaguely, know them. What is your profit margin this month? What does it cost you to run your business for 30 days? What is the difference between your gross revenue and your net revenue? How many customers do you need to break even? Barry couldn't answer any of these questions. He was so focused on getting the next sale that he never stopped to review the financial health of what he'd already built. Tom kept a simple 1-page financial dashboard updated every single week. Revenue, costs, profit, cash reserve. It took him 20 minutes on a Sunday morning. When Tom walked into a bank to request a business loan in year 3, he answered every question without hesitation. Loan approved. Barry walked into the same bank, same year, similar revenue. Loan denied, because he couldn't explain his own business. Year 5. Let's see where both men ended up. Barry, the man who made $200,000, was sitting behind a desk working for someone else. His business had closed 18 months earlier. He had no savings, because he never separated his accounts. No cash reserve, because he never built a runway. No loan, because he never knew his numbers. And no profit, because he never stopped confusing revenue with what he actually kept. Tom, on the other hand, had just purchased his second property. His business was generating $8,000 a month in clean, trackable, sustainable profit. He had a team of 4 people working for him, a cash reserve that gave him peace of mind, and a bank relationship built on trust and clear financial records. Same industry, same starting capital, same hustle. 6 financial decisions, that's all that separated them. Here is your financial intelligence checklist, 6 rules, starting today. 1. Every time your business makes money, calculate profit, not revenue. 2. Open a dedicated business bank account if you don't have one. Do it this week. 3. Track your cash flow every single week. Know exactly how much real money is in your business. 4. Decide on a salary and pay yourself that amount on the same date every month. 5. Once you're profitable, start building a reserve aim for 3 to 6 months of operating expenses saved. 6. Every Sunday, review your numbers. 20 minutes. Revenue, costs, profit, cash. That's all it takes. Barry's story doesn't have to be your story. The only difference between the entrepreneur who builds lasting wealth and the one who stays busy and broke is financial intelligence. And now you have it. If this video taught you something, drop a like. It helps this channel more than you know. Subscribe for more breakdowns like this every week. Share this with one entrepreneur in your life. It might just change their business.